Hmm. Milady, madam. There's so many things we used to playfully call each other. I don't know. I don't know how to explain how hard it is to not call you by these names whenever I see you. Yes, I know I'm putting on a tough exterior whenever we're around each other, partly because I feel like I have to, and partly because I'm still tangled up in things, as you well know. But you know what's funny is I feel like I've gotten to that place where I'm really just kind of tired of my own bullshit. And I feel like somewhere along the lines you said something like that to me. I don't know. I mean, it might not have been you, or maybe it was you in a dream, or you in my mind that I talk to all the time. But somewhere along the lines, I remember felt like you saying that you got to get to the point where you're tired of your own bullshit. That's when you change. That's when you change for real. And you know what's funny? I feel like I've been circling almost this drain, but like keeping myself just barely out of it, like just staying just in this like limbo state where I feel like it's not like I've quite hit rock bottom, but I'm certainly not going up. But I'm keeping myself from going all the way down the drain. There's so much a part of me that almost just wants to. Actually, you know what's funny right there? I caught it. In the past, I would have just said fuck it and just gone down the drain with the rest of the nonsense and debris, the dirt and hair and soap and whatever else goes down that drain. But I caught myself because I feel like you'd never stand for that. And you know what's funny, Divine Feminine, is you're one of the only people that I feel like has ever and could ever make an impact on my life in such a way that not only do I care about your opinion of me, but I find myself more and more thinking about, would she let herself fall down the drain? Would she give up at this point? Would she give in and be like, all right, I'm just giving up and letting it go and screw everything and just give up like that? Because I feel like I've watched you struggle and I've watched you be so resilient and just find such grit. And I even stop and I think about there were points where I thought that I was in a way standing on top of the world. I won't ever say that I really felt like I just truly had it all. Not once we stopped connecting as much, but there were times that I felt like I was higher up than ever and higher up than you, and well, let's just say I know I was a jerk about it. And I remember watching you go through certain struggles that it's weird. I mean, I clearly saw that you had chosen to go the harder path. It just baffled me for so long. And then I watched you rise up from it, and it was like those mythical tales about phoenixes. Like you just let yourself be burnt up, and then you rose up from the ashes and went up in the sky like some majestic firework, you know? And you just grew and grew and grew, and you continued to grow. And you let go of the people that were holding you back, and you were not afraid to start over. And you were in some sticky wickets, you know? But you pulled yourself out of it. You didn't give up. I feel like you had the odds stacked against you in so many different ways, including with me not being where I should have been on your side, right there with you, helping lift you up. I feel like I was a combination of a dead weight anchor and somebody trying to push you down the drain, and you just, I don't even know. I feel like on one hand you did say okay and you went down the drain, but you didn't do it in a way of like I give up and going down the drain, I'm just done. You did it with like, you know what? You want to see what happens when I go down the drain? Bam! You went down and you popped back out even stronger, that kind of thing. And so, like, there's, I don't know, like, I find myself looking at where I am now, and it's so much like you predicted that I was going to end up back where I was when we met, and I am. But I feel like I've been changed along the way, and that even though I'm in an almost identical situation as I was before we met, or when we met, both. I feel like I can't approach it the same way. I can't leave it the same way. I can't do it the same way. It's such a trip, you know? And I feel like because I've watched you face so many tough situations that were, quite frankly, harder than any that I've been through. I remember before, I think that was part of why I had such a hard time letting myself be fully real with you and to fully connect with you, because I felt like my life path had put me through so many way harder things than what you'd ever been through. Of course, I didn't realize. And as I learned along the way, you had been through harder things than I knew about. You just, you didn't live in the energy of them like I lived in mine. And then, like, being a part of a real life novel in the works, I watched you go through harder things than I've ever been through, certainly as an adult, and yet you overcame. You achieved more. You grew. You came out with more than anyone, and you didn't like jump in with anybody. No karmics, no better men than me, no nobody. You did it yourself, and that's something that I've never seen anybody do. Least of all, cheerfully. Not that you haven't had your spicy words to speak, but you've been grateful for all of it, and it shows that you're not miserable. You're not. It's not some bittersweet thing. You're enjoying what you got going on. You're getting your ducks in a row, just you, before you entangle with anyone. And I feel like I've never seen anybody do that. Least of all on purpose. You know what's feminine? You know what's funny, feminine, is that I feel like you are doing that on purpose to show me, to teach me that lesson in that funny sort of way, that it can be done, that it should be done. And I feel like there's so many other things too that you're showing me, like okay, masculine, you go ahead, you be over there in your pity party and your poor me cloud, be over there in your pirate crowd. I'm gonna be over here having fun, learning things, growing, making money, building my bag, doing my thing, having hot girl summers, while you're over there repeating them karmic cycles. And I feel like every once in a while you look back at me and you share a little bit of your magic with me and you remind me that you still love me and you still think about me, that you just don't, like, you do lay it on the table, but you also, you don't dance on the table all the time, I guess. I don't know. I feel like I'm starting to get it. Like, the whole when life throws you lemons, don't throw them at other people, don't throw them back, don't cry about it. Pick them up, wash them off, make some lemonade, you know? And I feel like somehow, even though I feel like everything I did is so far has been a mistake, that I'm starting to understand that it also wasn't, because I couldn't have seen you from the perspective I see you now if I had not put myself in the position I'm in. And I feel like I never maybe would have understood or have recognized that things could be different than what I've known if we hadn't have gone through what we've gone through. If I wasn't over here putting myself into trouble with you over there where I can't blame, I can't say she made me do it or anything like that, so that I could see that in so many ways in our fights of the past, you were right. It was me. Anyways, Feminine, I always appreciate your energy, your time, your patience, your good sense of humor.